What's up, guys? Welcome back to the 501st
Vapers.
501st Vapers. We're going to do a little wake and vape video. We just woke up about, 15 minutes ago? And we were feeling a little dry. You know that episode of SpongeBob? Water! That's how we felt. So we went ahead and we grabbed these. And we did them. Wake and vape. And that was very rude blowing into their face. Wow. You know how long it's been since I've coughed from a vape?
How long?
Like a few days. Ridiculous. It's because we just woke up. And this morning, we want to talk about. You know what we could talk about? Do you know what we could talk about?
What?
We could talk about The Last Jedi.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, you basically wanted me to spoil it for you already. So let's talk about The Last Jedi. I was a little disappointed when I watched it as a long-term Star Wars fan. It opened up immediately with comedy. Comedy, right away. Not no dramatic effect. There was a battle, but it was comedy. You have this General Hux, supposed to be the best, one of the best non-force sensitives in the First Order, because, he's General. And Poe Dameron decides to call him over the intercom to distract him. He answers it. Poe Dameron acts like he can't hear him, acts like there's not a good connection, and it just makes Hux, a general of an entire galactic government, the First Order, look like a fucking idiot. Strike one to Disney. Strike two to Disney was one man with just a few laser blasts were taking out these heavy turrets on the ship one after another. He was going doop 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 boom, doop 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 boom, doop 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 boom. Strike two, Disney. That's unrealistic. That's just rooting for the good guys at this point. I will give them this though. In that space battle, every time you thought they were going to introduce a new character to the movie, they killed them off. And see what was. So there's two strikes already. Two strikes. You know what the third strike is? It took one bomber to blow up an entire dreadnought ship. Here's a Mon Calamari cruiser. Here's a dreadnought ship. One bomber was able to heavily damage and take out a dreadnought. One bomber. Strike three, Disney. Strike three. Unrealistic. What else? I mean, the only good parts to me in that movie is whenever Kylo Ren was in it. Even Rey. It was ridiculous. Because Luke, who is supposed to be the most powerful Force user in the universe, had to also train for years to unlock his full potential of his power in the Force, when it took Rey 15 minutes after meeting Luke Skywalker. So what Disney's doing there is just trying to, idolize a female character, which Disney is known to do. But when it comes to Star Wars, don't fuck it up like you guys are. I'm pretty sure George Lucas didn't say he's helping him with this film.
I don't know.
Because if George Lucas, if you're helping him with these films, man, you lost your touch. You should have stopped at the prequels. That's it. You shouldn't have kept going. You shouldn't have sold. You should have just stopped. Don't let. He did make a good business move though. $4.5 billion. He sold Star Wars to Disney for. And now they're just fucking it up. They're just fucking it up. There was this scene on a casino. Like it was like a casino planet. It was so unnecessary. Like I feel like they put that in there. They put those scenes in there just to make the movie a little bit longer. It was a 2 hour and 33 minute movie And it just dragged on and on. It came to a point where I wasn't going to walk out of theater. I paid for these tickets for me and my woman, and we're going to sit there and watch it. I don't like to waste money. But there was a lot of parts of this movie where I was like, okay, when is this movie going to be over? I'm ready to go home and go to bed. That has never happened except for The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens was just like a repeat of Episode 4. That's what it was. There is a part, though, that's sick where Rey and Kylo are communicating through the Force, but it's all Snoke doing it behind the scenes, and but neither of them knew. And it seemed like Kylo was going good there for a little bit, and then all of a sudden Luke caught it happening. Luke, what Disney did. If there's anybody out there that comes across this video who is a huge Star Wars fan or an avid Star Wars fan, read the books and you read the comics, and you haven't seen The Last Jedi yet, you're going to be very disappointed on the path they took with Luke Skywalker. In Legends, he rebuilt the Jedi Order. He did all this stuff for the galaxy. He rebuilt the Jedi Order. They defeated the what were they called? The Reborn, the Empire Reborn, the Sith Reborn. I think it was it was like the Imperial Remnant, and I think that's what they were called, the Imperial Remnant. I can't remember, but he fell to the dark side for a little bit, and then he came back to the light. Finally, destroyed all of Palpatine's clones and everything, and yada yada. They all live happily ever until Darth Krayt comes along. But we don't talk about that because it's Legends. Disney thought, oh, this isn't good enough. What we're gonna do is better. Well, you know what? You know what, Disney, what I have to say to them? You fucked up. Heavily. Luke is this little hermit who doesn't want the Jedi to exist anymore because he failed. Just like Obi-Wan and Yoda in the prequels in the original trilogy. They fucking gave up. I was so pissed at that. I was like, what? Just because somebody falls to the dark side and kills a good portion of the Jedi Order, you're gonna quit? What are you guys, bitches? Sith are better than you. Oh my god, they keep fighting. Sith fight to the end. They plan, they plot in the shadows. Jedi, we give up. We go into exile. We give up. Luke completely gave up. Didn't want the Jedi to exist anymore. He said the galaxy doesn't need Jedi anymore. A complete fuck you to what he used to be in Legends. Even Mark Hamill said that in interviews. He said the only way I'll come back for these movies is if Harrison Ford comes back to play Han Solo, which he did. So okay, I'll do it. And Mark Hamill has even said in articles and stuff that he is very disappointed in these movies. He doesn't know why they're taking Luke Skywalker down these paths. It's ruining Luke Skywalker. And he's just a sad, depressed, old, Force-using hermit now who wants absolutely nothing to do with the Jedi. At least Obi-Wan wanted Luke to be trained. Luke didn't want Rey to be trained at first. When Rey handed Luke Anakin Skywalker's saber, that used to be your dad's. That used to be yours. He goes, throws it. He throws it down the cliff. Disney. What's with the stupid comedy? Now, I know if any Star Wars fans come across this video, some won't agree with me. Some will call me a little baby and that I need to get over it. Well, no. Fortunately, in this country and this world, you have a right to your own opinion. We have a friend named Casper who, for some strange, odd reason, thinks The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie made yet. And he thinks that fight scene between the Praetorian Guards, Rey and Kylo, is the best fight scene in all of Star Wars. And it blew my mind to actually hear somebody say that. I was like, he said it's the best Star Wars movie ever, the best fight scene. Now, mind you, Casper has always liked Star Wars, but before he met me, he knew barely anything about it, never really saw them or anything. And I understand he's a new school fan. He's just getting into Star Wars. He'll never he likes Kylo Ren to a point where you will not be able to change his mind. He literally thinks that is the best fight scene. Now I'm pretty sure all of you can agree with me. Any Star Wars fans that come across this, the best fight scene in all of Star Wars history is what? You tell me, Michael.
Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Darth Maul.
He knows. Remember when he said that? Remember Casper said, he goes, "Oh, dude, that fight scene sucked."
Well, I mean,
I was like, what?
I think that was an amazing fight scene. My favorite will always be Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Obi-Wan versus Anakin on Mustafar,
Yeah.
episode 3. Yeah, but he said that fight scene sucked. That was one of the worst fight scenes.
Who, Casper?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah, but like I said, he's a new school Star Wars fan. There's no changing his mind. He'll say anything to defend Kylo Ren and the new films. He thought Force Awakens was really good too. He loved it. I didn't. He did say it was just a repeat, so. And then Snoke gets killed with, 5 minutes of screen time. Kylo Ren uses the Force to activate. It's after Rey's been captured and everything, and he activates the lightsaber that's sitting by Snoke after Snoke just got finished saying, "I know everything that goes on in Kylo's mind. Whenever he thinks, I hear it." And Kylo's like, "Okay, then fuck you, bitch. Hear this." He used the Force to turn on the lightsaber, went through his abdomen, and he pulled it forward, and it cut him like this, and the lightsaber, Rey's saber, was just floating there. And because he's cut open, he leaned forward and fell into it, and it cut his head off. And I'm just like, this guy, this mysterious man who people were like, "Oh, it's Boba Fett. Oh, it's Darth Plagueis. Oh, it's Palpatine. Oh, it's Mace Windu. Oh, it's Vader." We still don't know who it was, and now he's dead. After showing that he can use the Force a little bit. That's it. And then the Praetorian Guard, who are supposed to be Snoke's last line of defense, who's supposed to be able to, defend Snoke, they died pretty fucking quick. Like, Kylo and Rey teamed up. You thought Kylo was going good. I thought he was good. I was like, oh my god, Kylo's going good. Who's going to be the bad guy now? I thought they were going to introduce some new bad guy. Nope. Those Praetorian Guards got killed off quick. And I'm like, well, what's the point of having them if they're just going to die like that? They're trained to fight against... They're 8 human males, and they're trained... There was a book that was released that tells about them a little bit. It's a picture book. And they're 8 human males in groups of 2. There's 4 groups of 2. And they're trained specifically to fight against other Force users. And they got killed like that against Kylo and Rey. And of course Kylo goes, "Join me and together we could rule the galaxy." And I'm like, oh, nope, he's not good. And then from that point on, the movie was alright. The battle at Crate, Luke projected his life force onto Crate from that desert island, or that island planet, using the Force, and helped the Resistance get away and everything. But Kylo is the supreme leader now and everything. But if there was no Kylo Ren in The Last Jedi, I would give the movie a 3 out of 10. A 2.5, a 2 or 3 out of 10. With Kylo in that movie and the end of the movie was pretty freaking good. It was okay. So with Kylo and because of the end of the movie, I'll give it a 4 or a 5 out of 10. Luke dies too. He just, after he uses his energy to do that, he just becomes one with the Force. And yeah. So that's how I feel about Star Wars The Last Jedi. Are you going to see it still?
I don't know.
Why? Just hearing about it, you're not excited about it?
Yeah.
Does it sound like something that you'd go, what? Come on.
Probably.
You know what was a good freaking movie? Rogue One.
Rogue One was good. I like Rogue One.
Rogue One was amazing. It didn't focus on the Force users. It didn't focus on... It focused on the troopers. You know, the front lines, the men on the front lines, and the men working in the shadows, the men and women working in the shadows and in the front lines to keep the rebellion living, who were fighting and dying for the rebellion. Rogue One was the first Star Wars movie to ever have every main character killed off in one movie. Everyone dies. Jin, Cassian, Baze Malbus, Chirrut Imwe, K2. Who else was there? Krennic, Galen.
Yeah.
Galen Erso. Death Troopers. That was the only time you saw Death Troopers, I'm assuming. Well, in the books, there were Death Troopers with Admiral Thrawn. And that ending scene, though, where it's all quiet and the rebel soldiers are trying to get out of the ship and they have the plans in their hands and all of a sudden you're... And they all like turn around and look into the darkness and bzzz, Vader. All those rebel troopers are your excuses that you give your dad when you're trying to get out of trouble. And your dad is Darth Vader. Just knock it out, one excuse after another. And I'm those plans. I'm your last hope at trying to get out of trouble. That's how I felt. You know? What?
Because it's true.
Because it's true. Rogue One, in my opinion, is the best Star Wars movie made to this day. And did Disney make it, right? Disney made it. That was the first and last great Star Wars movie I feel like Disney will ever make. But we'll see. We'll see how this Solo movie is. I guess it's supposed to be a young Han Solo. But we'll see. We'll see how it is. Next year, next December. And then episode 9. Hopefully, Disney realizes, we're really pissing off the fans and the people who give us a lot of money so Star Wars can continue on. We're going to make this an actual good film. But that's all I have to say about my Last Jedi rant. What was your favorite Star Wars movie? 3?
I think so, episode 3.
I keep forgetting that technically Clone Wars was a Star Wars movie. It goes episode 1, episode 2, Star Wars The Clone Wars, episode 3, Rogue One, episode 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there is...
I think actually one thing, it's just my opinion, on Star Wars Rebels, the saddest moment is when Ahsoka and Darth Vader are fighting.
Oh, wait.
And then she cuts off part of his mask, and then you get that, like...
She goes, Anakin? And he goes, Ahsoka? I was like...
I thought to myself, what if, like...
And it looked like he was going to go good, but we all know he remains evil, because we've seen the old movies. And he was like... His eyes got wide. He was like, wait, this was my Padawan. Because she goes, Anakin? And he's like, Ahsoka? And you could hear his voice. You could faintly hear Anakin's voice behind the mask. Remember? You could hear his actual Anakin Skywalker voice, but you hear that robotic Darth Vader voice as well. But he does this. Remember? She said something. What did she say to him? And then
she said, I won't leave you.
I won't leave you. That's right. I won't leave you. And then his
Not this time.
Not this time. That's right. And his eyes were like, and he goes, it looked like he shook it off, and he looked at her and goes, then you will die. I was like,
come on.
Dude, that's your snips, man. That's your snips. You know what would have been a lot better, though, if she would have said Sky Guy? Remember? I would have been like, and he would have said, Snips? I won't leave you, not this time. And he goes, then you will die. I was like, oh. All this dramatic effect. Alright, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Some will, some won't, if anybody comes across this video. If you, at any point, enjoyed this video, like and subscribe for more of this content. We will get better as time goes on. Eventually, we'll have an actual camera, a nice quality camera. We'll have an intro, we'll have an outro. We'll edit a little bit. Right now, this is just, us having fun doing this. See where it goes. But alright, guys, with that being said... This is the 501st Vapers for the Republic. See you guys.